Assalamu alaikum everyone, and thank you very much for joining us. I believe one of our panelists is uh, new to the audience. So, okay, you're going to make me act like a moderator. That's going to be one of the toughest things I've ever done. I always get this stuff done from people. Anyway, so I'm going to switch people off now. Okay. So, assalamu alaikum everyone. Bahut shukriya aap sabka for taking our time. I'm very happy to have right now two of very important panelists. Ali Saab hai, Misbah Sahiba hai, और अभी I'm assuming that Yusuf will join us shortly. I hope he does. Quickly, before we can continue with the panel, let me tell you that what are we trying to achieve? So quickly, a brief for anyone who's watching, who's not very hands-on on blockchain and all of these technical terms that have been discussed during the day and shall be discussed later in the day. The decentralized internet and the applications of blockchain are still a topic of the future. Where Bitcoin is slowly becoming an investable and commodity, the many applications of Bitcoin and blockchain together are still unclear to many. Like how a piece of land was once used to farm and build houses, today can be used to build anything the human mind can imagine. In this panel, let's simplify the concept for those who are trying to envision a world where this is the reality. What will a Pakistan built on blockchain look like? How will our industries be functioning then? Why are we doing this panel? If you ask, where the concepts and ideas around a digital world are still at the awareness stage, this audience is full of young people who are fully aware of what Bitcoin and blockchain are, and are also building smart contracts. Having said that, their understanding, imagination, and capacity to envision a world where there is the new norm is still at a nascent stage. The objective of this panel is to excite the world about the possibilities and opportunities this kind of technology has in store. So I'll quickly start with my questions. We'll take 2 rounds of questions. First, I will talk about the relevance of blockchain and Bitcoin. And then we talk about some practical examples and real-time use cases. So let me start with maybe Misbah. So question for you. You would, I know, diligently scouting talent, building startups and investing in them to help them reach their optimum potential. We are seeing an active interest from you and Kulsum's side as well in understanding how this works. How are you seeing the advent of this technology change the way you operate today? Is your interest in building and scaling startups built on this technology, or are you seeing it disrupt the way you work as an organization? What's your point of view on this? I'd like to try and understand your take on this, and then we'll take the conversation.
Sure, thank you, Nabil. I think I have to say, first and foremost, as an organization, we have not done anything on the blockchain as yet. So I think that's something for us to look at, individually as an entity. I think what we're seeing as investors in the space is a really exciting time for Pakistan. As we were saying before the panel started in our conversation, that there's a lot of very smart people looking to get into starting their companies. A lot of people have experience already, having worked elsewhere, run their own companies before, worked in other startups. And I think what we're seeing in Pakistan is this really big opportunity to leapfrog, just like we saw Africa leapfrog technology when the early sort of wallets and financial instruments were getting started. I think in emerging markets, especially like Pakistan, there's a big opportunity right now to leapfrog some of the technology that we've been seeing develop over the last few years and jump straight into Bitcoin, not so much Bitcoin, but blockchain, I think more specifically. So I think there the opportunity is that there's a lot that we can disrupt using these technologies. I think we're starting to see that. I don't think we're seeing enough of it. Abhi bahut early days hain. Jis lihaz se hame startups nazar aa rahi hai, we're seeing startups begin to apply some of these technologies. For example, in prop tech, property related, real estate related things, for example, in financial instruments. So we can get a little bit more into that in a little further in the conversation. But I think we're starting to see applications of blockchain smart contracts in Pakistan, and broadly speaking, applicability in areas where technology is actually already advancing. तो वो हमें नजर आना शुरू हो गया है. I think we haven't seen anything wide scale. We haven't seen neither application or adoption on a wide scale. And I'm really excited about looking at more of these opportunities coming up. I think there's a big opportunity for Pakistan to, again, put itself on the map, not just disrupt internally and do things differently, but also provide technologies to other emerging markets, and from our experience, then share that elsewhere. Again, there are some examples of companies that are working with crypto platforms outside the country already, providing services to them. And again, that's also really exciting because at the end of the day, the founders are in Pakistan, they are Pakistani, the company's out of Pakistan, the tech team is in Pakistan. So we can very much be proud of the fact that these are Pakistani products looking outward. So I think a couple of different pathways for this to grow, and really exciting time in the market right now.
Point answer the आपने. I hope this was useful. I even asked my teams later that if they can open it for questions from people as well. Like आप लोगों से क्या लग सकता है? Ali, so question for you. And I know for a fact that the prospect of building and expanding through this kind of technology excites you tremendously. And you've been an early believer of the potential of this. You see and advocate its opportunities to people everywhere, and I'm one of the witnesses of that. And you're currently developing in this area as well. So, ये बताइए कि how would you start off? Simply explain the relevance and application of blockchain in your area of work.
It's transformative. And it will change every single aspect of finance. But before I delve into that, firstly, I must thank you for inviting me for this and for organizing and for all the great work which Stacks Pakistan is doing, because you are, just like you did personally in the startup world, you are actually opening up and training the workforce for companies like us and others to work with these people to develop something which can change the future of finance. So for me, it's a personal pleasure to be talking to the audience over here, because as you know that Munib is my old friend. I was close to the story of Stacks Blockstacks when it started, and then it renamed to Stacks. I was an early investor in the ICO in 2017. Furthermore, this event is being at Collabs, which is who are our partners. K-Trade, KSP has an office close to inside the building where you guys are sitting right now. Thirdly, there's IEEE collaboration as well. And back in 2003, when I was at LUMS doing computer science and a double major in economics, I was the vice president of IEEE. So I've been told that a lot of the people in the audience are from LUMS and computer science grads from IEEE. So it's like, feels like homecoming. And lastly, some of you guys from your Stacks Pakistan community are currently working with us, developing blockchain smart contracts, which have applications in finance. So it's, for me, it's like a lot of points coming together. So I'm very excited about talking to the audience over here. Now, coming to your question in terms of application, how does blockchain impact financial markets? I think we all understand it, especially sitting in Pakistan. So I'll totally agree with what Misbah said, because I'll give you a very small example. Some of you who are developers, you must be struggling to get payments, and you do freelance work, you must be struggling to get payments. A lot of people get their money in Payoneer, and Payoneer charges a lot. If you look at the charges of FX and other charges which they have, there are other issues with Payoneer as well. But with blockchain, with Bitcoin transfer or any kind of crypto digital asset transfer, that cost can come down substantially. So it saves money, it's more efficient, it's faster, and it connects us, the people in Pakistan, to the internet. So unfortunately, the way the current digital world was built, it was not built for a digital world. The internet was not built for a digital world. We just took the paradigm from a physical world and transferred it to a digital format, which meant that you still had the boundaries of countries. You still had the boundaries of currencies. You still had the boundaries of payment companies and the controls of those companies. So if PayPal does not come to Pakistan, our prime minister and our finance minister and our parliament would be requesting, "Okay, PayPal, please, Pakistan, aa jao." Or it's not truly digital. We are not truly connected. We can send an email to each other, but we can't send money. So blockchain allows that, and that's transformative. And that's just one aspect of finance. But that power to connect is truly transformative.
Amazing. And Hussain is online. Thank you, Mr. for letting me know this. And Yusuf, are you around? How come I can't see?
Yes, I'm here, Dilip.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Kya haal hai janab aapka?
No, doing just fine and joined this discussion basically to learn. Because देखें दुनिया के पर्सपेक्टिव से जो क्रिप्टो है is too unstable. So people in the governments, whether it's China, whether it's India, whether it's UAE, they are talking about stable currency. They want to link it $1 to 1 coin, 1 rupee to 1 coin. So that kind of and then if you look at the use cases of benefit, there are use cases for stable coins and there are use cases of crypto. Crypto is an investment currency, and I would say payment is a stable currency point. It's not an investment point, it's payments. So when we talk about the benefits of payments, are we talking about crypto or are we talking about stable currency? May I answer you?
That's actually Ali, you want to take that and give your point of view?
Absolutely, it's a very big field. So you can मैं इसमें सिर्फ दो मिसालें दूंगा. एक कंपनी है FTX जो क्रिप्टो का एक्सचेंज है. रिसेंटली उन्होंने $800 million रेज किए हैं at $18 billion वैल्यूएशन. और दूसरी मिसाल मैं दूंगा Coinbase की जिसकी मार्केट कैप है $75 billion. So to put that in perspective, that's almost 75 times larger than the largest bank in Pakistan. And these companies are, a few years old. And these companies operate in areas which are still not defined. So I totally agree that, it's a lot of the things are in fluidity. But think about the potential कि जो चीज अभी बनी भी नहीं है उसकी वैल्यूएशन 75 billion है. तो जब वो बन जाएगी तो जब वो कितनी बड़ी होगी. And that for your audience, the developers, the future of Pakistan, that's the thing. When you are, जब आप लोग अपने career की choice करते हो, अपने technology platform सीखने की choice करते हो, तो आपको वो चीज सीखनी चाहिए जो कि कल future में बहुत बड़ी होगी. क्योंकि it's all about growth. It's all about growth. So I think those are the two examples.
अच्छा, मैं इसका एक जवाब देना चाहूंगा क्योंकि अली आपने बड़ी खूबसूरत बातें की हैं and you're very articulate. You're maybe half my age. And I saw the .com bubble in the USA. My company was valued at $286 million. You can buy UBS bubble. So ups and downs markets mein aati hai. We can quote very high valuation, that's fine. But we got to keep our feet grounded on reality. I learned that from being burnt. ठीक है ना, वो $286 million से कोई $4 million पे गिर गई मेरी company, ठीक है ना. So all I'm saying is you're right. I mean, there's a lot of money pouring into it. We know it's $2 trillion crypto, blah blah blah. But let's see. I mean, the point is all about timing. When do you buy and when you sell, is the asset worth more or not? If you look at an investor perspective, ठीक है ना. So वो ठीक है. हम समझते हैं कि ठीक है, smart contracts and decentralization and high security and lack of any central government authority, libertarianism, We get it. We get the values. But the point is not it's not going to be part of our future. It is, obviously. It already is. The point is valuation. And as a venture capitalist, I keep a close eye on that. Valuation. When is the time?
आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं. मैं उस पर थोड़ा सा ऐड करूं. मैं यंग लगता हूं, 40 साल का हूं. So I was CFO of a payment processing company. It was listed on London Stock Exchange, and I was the CFO and CEO of the largest prepaid card business in Europe. So we sold it for $1 billion, and we thought कि बड़ी अच्छी valuation मिल गई है यार, $1 billion मिल गए. आज 3 साल बाद उस कंपनी की वैल्यूएशन है $12 billion. उसका नाम चेंज कर दिया, उसका नाम नोवे है. तो नोवे जो इट्स वर्थ $12 billion. तो यू आर राइट के वैल्यूएशन में हम कंजर्वेटिव भी हो सकते हैं, ज्यादा भी हो सकते हैं, कम भी हो सकते हैं, एंड टाइमिंग इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट. मगर आई थिंक फॉर डेवलपर्स एंड फॉर द फ्यूचर ऑफ पाकिस्तान इट्स इंपॉर्टेंट टू टेक रिस्क्स.
I'm sorry, maybe this is a stupid question, but are you the guy who put in $4.1 million in lumps?
No. My Muneeb did. Muneeb, the founder of Stacks.
Okay. नहीं, वो ठीक है. I am going to say good investment. I'm going to say crypto, cybersecurity, AI, data science. We know, I mean, these are skills of the future. I'm with you on that.
Definitely. Acha ji, I have my next panelist with me finally. So, Baji, I want to place you first on my Zoom का जो मेरा interface है. And thank you for joining. And I'm looking forward to hearing your point of view. Whenever you talk in person, बाकी सबसे तो मेरी कभी न कभी बात हुई है, लेकिन आपसे तो मेरी पहली मुलाकात हो रही है ये. So I'm very keen to know more about you, but we're all keen to know a bit more about you and what you do. So वो बताइएगा जरूर. साथ ही साथ, because I'm throwing questions, I would like to kind of pose a similar question because I know your area of work, and I think it's at the intersection of the transitioning the association we have with using Bitcoin for investment, to expanding it for other areas. So as a payment gateway, what and where all do you see yourself facilitating the progression that is yet to come in the next 50 years in blockchain?
Oh, thank you so much, Nabil. Really appreciate that. You invited me for this session. I really appreciate that. So I'm on background is I'm a
He just got dropped out. 2 minutes इंतजार कर लेते हैं. That's the problem with technology. Never mind. I'll just until Baji joins back. Can I maybe ask another question? Misbah, should I give you a question to answer? मैं आपको पूछूंगा अगला सवाल अपना.
Sure.
जी, अच्छा देखो, तो इसमें अब मैं सिर्फ ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ, जो मेरा मेन पर्पस है कि वो कि आप सब अपने एरियाज में काम कर रहे हैं, हम लोग सुन रहे हैं. If you could maybe share practical examples from your daily life or people that you are interacting with in everyday operations, to compare how that will change or look different in a world or in a country where digital currencies, assets and applications that are the new norm, ये एक आम हो जाएगा. तो आप उसका एक vision क्या देख रहे हो? What change do you see in the life of a common man if, as I said, digital currencies and assets and all these things were mainstream? ये democratize हो जाती है, ये masses के लिए available हो जाती है. क्या तब्दीली देख रही हैं?
Sure. I think if I talk about assets for a minute, Nabil, 2-3 चीजें हैं जो I think immediate impact कर सकती हैं. हमारे market में trust का मसला है. We generally have an issue of trust. A lot of reasons why we prefer cash on delivery is because we don't trust that अगर हम prepay करेंगे product आएगा या नहीं. E-commerce is kind of held back a little. I think once you actually have a sort of decentralized smart assets, smart contracts in place, there will be an inherent improvement in the level of trust, because people will know, okay, this is a third party that is safeguarding a contract between me and somebody else. Now, that could be an example of that could be real estate, where I'm buying or selling property, and I need to understand that this property is actually what owned by the person that it says they say that the claim they is owned by. So just giving a very simple example, so people who are not really that familiar with the space can also understand. And so it protects both people that are involved in the transaction by decentralizing that hold of the validity of that contract or that document that underlies that sale or purchase agreement. That's one example. The other thing is, if you look at our unbanked, underbanked population, the access to finance that is very limited right now. And if you think about for a minute, जब हम agri-tech की बहुत बात करते हैं, आप smallholder farmers को ले लें. Smallholder farmers right now do not have the ability to create any kind of credit persona. They don't have the ability to sort of have any kind of documentation around the small activities that they do on a regular basis in their management of their fields and their sort of business. What we can actually do is, if we start bringing in blockchain and a sort of management of keeping track of that information in a place where every time a smallholder farmer in a small area of, let's say, in someone who's farming in Badin, for example, is able to document every time they buy or sell something, every time they're actually getting a loan and paying it back, every time they're transacting, they can start building a sort of a credit history and a credit profile, which at some point in the future can then enable them to access financial products. So ये जरूरी नहीं है कि आपके financial products की access ही digital हो, but we can actually use these kind of assets to create a credit history for people that right now are out of the credit system completely. And that means a full leapfrog of the banking systems where you're waiting for banks to start lending to some of them so that they can start building credit profiles or other third parties. We already know that हमारे agriculture system में आरतीज हैं जो पैसे lend करते हैं. There's a very symbiotic relationship between farmers and aartis. They work very closely. Some demonize them, some say they play a very important role, but whatever that is, the point is that relationship is there for decades, but it's not documented in a way that a third party can come and look at it and say, great, on the basis of this, I have a good sense of what this person's liability is, what their credit profile is. So again, two very different examples. One is very urban, where you have, like, let's say, real estate being bought or sold. One is something that's very rural, where you're getting to a population जिनको technology का शायद इल्म भी ना हो, और वो जरूरी भी नहीं है कि वो इतने technology में काम करें. So, but there are parties that can come in and help build in some of those smart contracts in the real estate side, and potentially also start building credit histories in that regard that can actually help these people then access finance at a later stage. And then of course there's a whole idea of like accessing finance that is a whole other bucket in itself. So I'll pause there in case people want to comment, or what I can give a few more examples.
बहुत अच्छे दोनों एग्जांपल्स दिए, दो डिफरेंट स्पेक्ट्रम्स के हिस्सों में दिए हैं. बहुत अच्छा. यूसुफ भाई, I think you have a question. आपने हाथ रेज कर दिया.
I have a question.
Maybe a comment.
Yeah, I have a question. Very articulately said by Misbah, बिल्कुल ठीक है. But मेरा question ये होगा, because I've looked at the agri space, I almost invested in agri-tech. I pulled back due diligence नहीं made की थी. Magar, I know agri-tech in the sense that, for example, ASPL hired McKinsey for a couple of $1 million. They did their mobile app, and farmers are being onboarded digital right now. I started with 200 acres, it's 10,000 acres right now, it's going to be huge. Now they are lending to farmers for seeds, fertilizer, pesticides, micronutrients. They are lending to farmers for renting, harvesting machinery. जो इन्होंने अमेरिका से लेके आए हैं, पाकिस्तान में बनती भी नहीं है उस किस्म की. They are lending to farmers for buyers. The buyers pick up maize, corn, rice, whatever, and now they're going to groceries. Now, and I've looked at, for example, Mandi Express, I've looked at Grocer App, I've looked at a couple of others. The point is, there's a question. What does blockchain have to do with this? There's already electronic credit information bureaus. You're looking at a mobile information. You're looking at utility bills. People are looking at 14, 15 things to make this credit verification. Some other people are looking at your mobile data. I am not a fan of that because I think that's private data. But when a user says, I mean, there are so many options. How does blockchain add to the equation? That's my question.
that question. Misbah, would you like to respond to that? Ali, would you like to respond to that? Even Baji, I'm going to bring you in, Baji. You're coming in next, but let's first close this thread. Anyone wants to take this question? क्या relevance है blockchain की in such spaces, such domains like the agriculture sector or whatever?
Yeah, I think I'll just say, Nabil, that I mean, Yusuf makes a good point, but at the same time, these are individual organizations that are doing outreach now. We still have a country of 70% underbanked and unbanked population. So it's great that HBL is doing that. There are other organizations working with farmers such as Engro, and Telenor. So it's great to hear that HBL is looking at that, but HBL is only then reaching out to the farmers that are there. What I'm talking about is a broader again, a system which is actually capturing data where it doesn't require any one organization to come in and control that. Other financial institutions can build on that data. Once that data is in place, not HBL, others are welcome to sort of access that and make their own credit assessments and then provide loans. Like I said earlier, that's only the starting point. The access to finance then is the next step. But the point that I was making is that there is a way to start creating records where there is an opportunity to then financial institutions to come in and leverage that information, which they don't have right now. So it's great if HBL is building direct relationships with certain farmers. They have a program in place. They're accessing this. That's great. Would love to see much more of it. But this also then allows other organizations that may not have that capability to come and ride on top of that data and actually build products on top of it. And I think to what Ali was saying earlier, we need to start thinking more broadly. If we only think in silos, we're not going to get anywhere. So the point is build those rails, those platforms on top of which, like Ali was saying, developers can come and build in products that then will take it to help them build next generation products for the tech industry as well. So I think we need to think bigger. If we just think, hum kar rahe hain aur humne ye kar liya hai, chalo theek hai, that's fine. It's great. I think it's definitely needed. And it's fulfilling a need. But I think we need to take a step back and think broader and think about what can we create for Pakistan more broadly. I'll give you one really quick example, Nabil. I was working with somebody, a few years ago who was looking at refugees in Jordan and providing certain digital identities to refugees in camps in Jordan, so that they could actually then in the future access financial products and start building a profile just by going to the store and buying a packet of chips or biscuits or milk for the babies. They were starting to build a digital identity that was then protected and preserved on blockchain, so that in the future at some point that identity had been built and then people could come in and lend to them, provide savings products, etc. So I think what I'm talking about is much broader, building rails and platforms on top of which then everyone's welcome to come and be very specific and build products on top of that. But if we're talking about really disrupting, we need to think bigger in terms of creating those platforms.
Okay, so let's think broader, let's think bigger. Forget about HBL. And by the way, in Ignite, I funded blockchain and crypto projects. I'm a fan of Fourth Industrial Revolution technologies. And Ignite got recognized by UNIDO as a global leader in Fourth Industrial Revolution policy strategy initiatives. So I'm a supporter of blockchain. I want to go there. I'm trying to bring them into Habib Bank, by the way. But all I'm saying is this: let's think broader and bigger. Now, let's forget about HBL. Let's think about Bakhbar Kasab. 16 million farmers out of 19.5 million farmers. Telenor bhi unke saath hai, Jazz bhi hai, Ufone bhi hai. They are providing them. They have agronomists. They are doing great. They don't need money. They are doing very well, and they are providing this information to farmers: when to sow, what to sow, what's right, because they have all these agronomists. So, ek cheez ye hogi. Dusri cheez. Let's talk about opening up data. Well, National Bank of Pakistan is an API, open data. मैं Habib Bank में कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि open data हो, open API हो. सवाल फिर भी वही बनता है, blockchain कैसे क्या ताल्लुक? फिर भी ये सवाल उठता है, because you can do open APIs without blockchain. You have the data, 10 other banks have the data, 3 other telecom companies have the data. You have an open API. And you are addressing. So मैं सिर्फ blockchain के वाले से कह रहा हूँ, all this sounds great, and I just want to focus on agri-tech, and we can go to any other vertical later on. But just about agri-tech, what is a value add of blockchain? and I'm trying to understand. I would love to invest it. I'm trying to understand.
यूसुफ भाई, I think जो core है वो तो security और settlement of data ही है. That's one of the biggest. अगर इसका advantage चाहिए, difference चाहिए, वरना तो सब कुछ हो रहा है without blockchain as well. But I think that additional value that comes with blockchain is something that is maybe worth investing. But again, I am not the expert. I'm here to moderate, and I would like other people to comment as well. So Waji, I've kept you waiting a lot. I'm sorry, Mr. Ali, I have to kind of go to him first now because he was about to speak, then he got disconnected. जनाब बताएं जरा प्लीज, आप अपने बारे में बताएं और ये बताएं कि जो मैंने आपको सवाल पूछा था उसमें आपका क्या रोल है और आप क्या देख रहे हैं ब्लॉकचेन.
नहीं बिल्कुल, थैंक यू सो मच. वेटिंग करने का नहीं, वेट से इतने हमारे एक्सपर्ट मेंबर्स हैं, इनसे कुछ सीखने को ही मिल रहा है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. So for that, with that being said, I'm a CP qualified as I said earlier, guys, from Australia. So currently मैं FASIC को lead कर रहा हूँ in Pakistan. We've been doing the expansion in Pakistan side. So especially the blockchain अगर हम बात की जाए, especially on the Pakistan side के ऊपर, तो इस creating a main advantage for especially for the government and for the economy. It enables to increase the foreign direct investment, and plus it enables to cover the questions or the queries of the freelancer, as Ali Bhai said earlier, that there is a lot of gap that freelancer is creating a lot of payment issues, receiving payment money. So with that being said, आप अगर example में आपको दूँ, अगर आप example देखें कि approximately 9 million overseas or 4% total population जो है बाहर हमारे overseas, तो अगर उस चीज को consider किया जाए, तो अगर हम पाकिस्तान के अंदर अब हर monthly yearly basis पे कोई ना कोई पाकिस्तान payment send कर रहा है, तो उनको क्या issues आ रहे हैं, कोई percentage interest rate है, कुछ different percentage correspondent bank charges हैं. So almost yearly basis पे 29.4 or 30 billion USD, अगर to be very precise 29.4 billion जो है last fiscal year पाकिस्तान में overseas में send किए हैं. तो अगर हम इस चीज को ही consider कर लें और इस चीज को एक blockchain उनको एक method दे दें which enables them to cover their time, their cost, and easily they can invest in something else. Plus even though blockchain के through हम जो local tokenization कर सकते हैं, तो asset tokenization, उसके तौर पर अगर आप देखें तो गवर्नमेंट साइड से जितनी भी फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगी, जो ओवरसीज बाहर रह रहे हैं वो इन्वेस्ट करना चाह रहे हैं, तो हम एसेट टोकनाइजेशन के थ्रू उतनी इंक्रीज फॉरेन डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट भी कर सकते हैं. और बड़े यूज केसेस हैं इसके, डिफरेंट डोमेन्स में चले जाएं, डिफरेंट वर्टिकल्स में चले जाएं, काफी इसके यूज केस बन सकते हैं. तो मेनली जो मेरा फोकस है और जो मैं इस चीज को बड़ा ईगरली देख भी रहा हूँ कि foreign direct investment, क्योंकि win-win situation है for the individual overseas or for the government as well. और अगर मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दूं, रिसेंटली कुछ टाइम पहले जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन साइट ऑस्ट्रेलियन बैंक ने उन्होंने अपने बॉन्ड को टोकनाइज किया, और बॉन्ड की टोकनाइजेशन से they raised around like $160 million. So there is a lot of opportunities for government to take this thing and enables the blockchain, even the crypto coins, to legalize those things to get more advantage to cover the market side. Yeah.
अच्छा, तो रोशन डिजिटल अकाउंट में ऑलरेडी $2 अरब आ गए, ठीक है ना? That's the situation on the ground today. So overseas पाकिस्तानीज $20-25 अरब, $30 अरब भेजते हैं साल का. Roshan digital account is a big success right now. How does blockchain add value? Again, I'll ask this question.
बिल्कुल दोनों डाउट. देखिए, ब्लॉकचेन इसमें बेनिफिट ये कर सकता है कि आपकी एक टाइम और सिक्योरिटी और उसका जो एक है ना डिजिटल लेजर है, उसको आप एक अराउंड हर चीज को रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं डिजिटल रिकॉर्ड से, जो कि टोटली इस चीज को एनेबल करता है कि आप सिक्योरिटी पॉइंट से टोटली आपका जितना भी फाइनेंशियल डेटा है वो टोटल 110% सिक्योर है, rather to depends on someone.
Okay. Even though we've not heard Roshan digital accounts as cybersecurity ke threats hai, we know cybersecurity is a big threat. We know ransomware is a big threat, right?
Yeah.
But right now, all I'm saying is, like I'm saying, I want to invest. ठीक है ना? This is fourth industrial revolution. It's very exciting. But in talking to serious investors, and ठीक है, जो भी valuation हुई है, वगैरह, we got to talk about use cases on the ground, real things. Now, we have $2 billion in Roshan digital account, talking about overseas Pakistanis getting away from agri-tech, talking about this. I'm just saying that what is problem number one? What is problem number two? What is problem number three? And does this address it? That's all.
I think also if we come back to the
Ali,
topic,
I'd like
which is
to-
really about like the potential for change in the industry and what we see coming down, and maybe we need to fast forward a little bit and think not about right now, but a little later.
बिल्कुल सही है, बिल्कुल सही है. Because we have limited time, तो मैं जो क्वेश्चन पे आना चाह रहा हूँ, मैं बल्कि अली को पोज कर रहा था, उसके बाद मैं आप ही दीजिएगा जवाब. Your vision for a Pakistan that where blockchain technologies will be democratized, masses को पता होगा, applications होंगी, क्या देख रहे हैं 20 साल के बाद? Because you're so invested in this, where do you see our country going with this technology being used for the value it brings to a nation state?
तो इसके दो पॉइंट्स हैं. एक तो जितना यूसुफ साहब ने कहा, इट्स अ वेरी, हिज क्वेश्चंस आर वेरी वैलिड, दैट कहाँ एप्लीकेशन होगी, वहां पे वो सक्सेसफुल होगा कि नहीं, वहां पे यूज केस बनता है कि नहीं, काफी जगह फेल हो सकता है, होगा भी. ये वही सवाल है जो हम स्टार्टअप्स के बारे में भी पूछते हैं जनरली, कि क्या ये बिजनेस सक्सेसफुल होगा कि नहीं. उनमें से हम कहते हैं कि 95% ऑफ स्टार्टअप्स फेल. और तो ये सवाल नए नहीं है और नॉन वैलिड नहीं है, बिल्कुल वैलिड सवाल है, क्योंकि आपकी ऑडियंस जो है वो डेवलपर्स है. तो उन डेवलपर्स के लिए तो दे नो दैट the audience is people who are developers and who are developing on blockchain. So for them, the important thing is that even if an idea is risky, even if an idea right now might not seem valid, there's opportunity for you to learn and take chance and try to develop something. That's what entrepreneurship is about, right? Because you're thinking about something which doesn't exist right now. So दूसरी point इस पे ये है कि capital is available, businesses are interested in investing and allowing you to take that experiment. So for example, आपकी Stacks पाकिस्तान के काफी ज़्यादा कुछ developers हमारे साथ काम कर रहे हैं K-Trade पर. इस audience को जो I was told by Usman कि there are 100 people in this conference. तो मैं उन सबको ये कहूँगा कि अगर आप 100 के 100 you want to work with us to explore some of these opportunities which Misbah mentioned, some of the applications in areas agriculture हो, वो remittances हो, वो जो भी area हो, we are not scared of you trying and failing. I would be willing to hire all of you, all the 100 of you who are in this. If you want to experiment, if you want to try, and if you want to fail, that's okay. Now, just last point, मैंने computer science पढ़ी थी लम से 2003 में. उस ज़माने में हम C++ सीखते थे और काफी ज्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी जो है वो उससे पहले कोबोल में बनी थी. अगर आप बैंकों के कोर बैंकिंग सिस्टम देखें वो कोबोल में बने हुए हैं. तो उधर भी डिबेट होती है कि कोबोल ज्यादा अच्छी है कि C++ ज्यादा अच्छी है. जब जावा आई तो डिबेट हुई कि यार जावा में ऐसी क्या खास बात है जो C++ में नहीं है. तो टेक्नोलॉजी के इटरेशंस आते रहते हैं और उनको लोग क्वेश्चन भी करते हैं जो प्योर हार्टेड होते हैं पुरानी टेक्नोलॉजी में, और रिस्क इस तरह के लोग लेते रहते हैं. सो डोंट, फॉर डेवलपर्स आई एम सेइंग दैट you guys don't worry, there is a lot of jobs in blockchain. We are willing to offer you jobs and there are a lot of jobs available globally for you guys to come and experiment.
That's a big reassurance. I should apply. Misbah, any closing comments from you? Your vision for this? क्या देख रहे हैं आप आगे?
Nabil, I think it's an exciting time. I'll echo what Ali's saying. There's so much possibility out there. We have such a smart young population who are a lot of people that are entering the workforce now. There's an opportunity for them to start thinking big. Think big. One thing I would say is, learn from people that know more than you and push your boundaries and don't get pigeonholed into something. Think big, because the opportunities are really there for you to build, not just for Pakistan, but for outside Pakistan as well, and put Pakistan on the map because of products that come out of Pakistan, and our talent really is our biggest asset at this point. It's also a challenge because we often find that, in engineering, we don't often find people that have, when the exam pass kar liya hoga, they don't necessarily have the skills to actually, hit the ground running. So learn from people. Like if you're in that situation, get into a good organization where you can learn, be open, and there's a lot that's going to come down the chain, down the lane in blockchain and crypto and other digital technologies. And I think I'm really excited for where Pakistan is positioned right now. I'm really excited for our people and what they can achieve. And I think that side by side, if I can speak from my space, the ecosystem is growing to be able to support that. There are people that are willing to put money behind startups that have big vision. There are people that are willing to mentor and support individuals that have big vision. So, take control, get started, learn from people around you, and inshallah, you're in an exciting time, and hopefully we'll see a lot more coming out of Pakistan in the next few years. I'm super excited about it, and inshallah, lots and lots of new things down the road.
Thank you very much. Quickly, similar question from Baji. Your closing comments on this, please.
I can't hear Waji.
I can't seem to hear you. Aapka sound ka issue aa raha hai. There seems to, Baji, I might have to move forward because हमारा अगला panel भी शुरू होना है. आपकी आवाज मुझे नहीं आ सक रही. If you're around, Mr. Saab, any closing comments from you? Wonderful questions posed, by the way. Lots to think about. Any closing comments by you before we can close this?
Sorry, Nabil, आपने मुझसे मुखातिब हुए?
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल. मैंने आपसे पूछा. Any closing comments, because I have to close the panel. Thank you for the questions you posed, but now your comments.
My closing comments are: I'm excited about the space. I agree with Misbah. I agree with Ali and the others. I mean, obviously, this is a high growth area. There's a lot of demand for crypto programmers. So overall, ये एक बड़ी high. Definitely, it has a great future. And all I'm asking is, as an investor, and I know, I mean, agar Kleiner Perkins $17 million Tajir mein dalti hai, so we know the Pakistan market is hot. We know the sentiment is hot. We know the young population and everything. We know that. But the point is, if Kleiner puts in $17 million, do I put in $2 million with them at that valuation? Do I expect that 4 years, 1 year later, 2 years, 4 years later ये होगी? तो मैं सिर्फ timing और valuation की बात कर रहा हूँ उसी हद तक. But we know this is a high growth area, so I completely endorse. That's why I'm a part of this forum. It's a high potential, high growth area.
Thank you very much, everyone. आपका बहुत शुक्रिया. आप सबने मेरा वक्त निकाला. You gave your points of view. It's very useful. Thank you, and I'll be in touch individually with each of you after this. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Misbah. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Waji. Thank you, Yusuf. Allah Hafiz. Bless you.
Thanks very much.
Have a good day.